Live from the mighty Veedverks airship, we're here at Indo Expo in the Denver Mart. We're in the Hemp Pavilion, booth number 1203, and we are.
We're going to have a hemp seminar at 11.
There's a hemp seminar coming up, as you can tell.
Is that correct? Hemp seminar at 11. Right here. Thank you.
Audio is going to be a challenge throughout the day, I believe. But our first guest, we're going to do a lot of these over the course of the next 2 days. Our first guest is Ryan Wainer from Rocky Ford Hemp Company, and let's talk about growing some hemp. Tell us about
Scoot up a little bit and tell them about that awesome, what you were telling us about that piece of equipment that you were your farm using.
So we basically have kind of come to see that high cannabinoid hemp has never been grown agriculturally in the world before. So there's a lot of challenges in coming when it comes to harvest time and things like that. So we've went out and internally modified pieces on a large combine that enables the material to get passed through the machine, thus stripping the flour off of the stalk, discarding the stalk out the back of the machine, and then collecting all the flour within the bin. So that way it's able to get your product out of the field before winter sets in, and being able to have a sellable product faster.
So it's a new head for a combine harvester?
Actually, it's internal modified pieces that we've went in and changed things out, just because you're dealing with such a sticky product that has to move through the machine. So some things had to get pretty much changed internally for the process to work correctly.
We had
hopefully my voice is
let
getting
that
out there in the
pass.
hall.
Let's just let this guy talk.
Seminar at 11 a.m.
We're going to be dealing with a lot of this. There we go. Okay.
There we go.
So good.
But we had a farmer on a few months ago that was talking, we were asking about modification, because we're always coming up with, maybe new hemp businesses, and that's definitely an exciting one. So you sell these?
Yes, we're selling kits for case combines at the moment, and we're also selling turnkey combines for farmers that want to purchase a combine to be able to process their hemp. And this will actually process dried hemp, so the hemp has to be cut down. It has to be dry to go through the machine. Just because when you essentially think of a dried plant and running your hand over that plant, most of the flour will come off. But if you have a wet plant and you run your hand across it, most of that flour does not come off. So that's kind of the toughness that you're dealing with through the process of having it to be dry.
Yeah.
I went to Kansas to the Kansas Department of Agriculture meeting. Wait, can you guys hear us okay? Because I could get a thumbs up if is this audio a wreck, or is it coming through? Hey, Camino, Stacy, Phil, Kim, thank you for sharing.
Yes, absolutely.
So these farmers in Kansas had a lot of questions about machinery. They're like, well, what kind of machines do I need? And so you're saying that you sell like the totally modified combines?
Yeah, we sell modified combines, basically turnkey, ready to process hemp. But like I said, we're also making a machine that is able to cut down the plants, because essentially we are field drying, being that, it's really climate specific, but we're able to, during harvest, we just lay the plants down, let it dry in the field for like 4 to 5 days, and then we'll come back through and combine the material, just to get away from having to hang dry something and then coming back and then processing it again. It's just trying to, it's a lot of work. And realistically, if you had 100 acres, trying to hang 100 acres, you need a lot of square footage to be able to hang that many acres.
Yeah.
So
That's incredible.
Yeah, it's really awesome. We're very blessed to be able to have this opportunity, and it's like I said, we're just trying to be able to help the average hemp farmer be able to process their hemp to get it to be able to sell.
Right. Well, you said something that really caught my attention, and you said high cannabinoid crop.
Yeah, high cannabinoid hemp. So what I've seen in the industry is you have your industrial hemp, which most people think of as hemp, which every aisle of Home Depot could be made something of hemp inside. And but now we're dealing with a different style of hemp, which I'm calling high cannabinoid, because we're dealing with CBD right now, but I believe that the next CBG, or even beyond that. So realistically, just farming for cannabinoids specifically just has never been actually done on the large scale agriculture in the world.
Right.
So it's a very exciting time to be alive and to be in the industry, and like I say, awesome to be on the roller coaster.
People want to get a hold of you. How do they do that?
We have a Rocky Ford Hemp Company Instagram, and that's pretty our best way of getting a hold of us. At the moment, we're working on a better website and things like that, but yeah, Instagram is the best way to get a hold of us at the moment.
Yeah.
Rocky Ford Hemp Company on the IG.
Definitely. I really appreciate everything.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Thank you very much. So for the high cannabinoid hemp, how many plants per? Here's some Kansas questions for you. How many plants per acre do you?
We're seeing at a 5-on-5 spacing, it roughly comes out to be 1,750.
Okay.
But on an average, I'll say about 2,000 plants per acre on
2,000
average.
plants per acre. And with those plants, how much would you expect those plants to yield?
On a good yield, we're looking to have about 2,000 pounds to the acre.
2,000 pounds an acre.
Yes, sir.
So,
Definitely exciting. Yeah, it really last year we fought the weeds really bad, and we're in an area where melon farming is pretty big. So we go out there and we hand hoe and do a lot of the stuff to make sure that our product, that when it goes into the combine, that you're not getting weeds and other material in there. So that way we have a nice pure product and a clean product.
Nice. I don't know how involved you were last year with Amendment X, but there were some questions about, they brought up, they felt that it was protecting the hemp farmer, and the part of the argument was we have so many hemp farmers that have too much THC and they're burning their fields. Mm-hmm. So I made a phone call to the department, the state, and they were like,
talk to a hole.
Maybe 15%. Mm-hmm. I mean, so I'm curious, as a hemp farmer, what is your view on that? Do you really think that's a big issue of farmers testing hot, that they're over the limit?
Well, a lot of the strains, I believe right now, currently, if you leave them in the field long enough growing, they will go hot. And when you're specifically talking about going from 0.1 to 0.2%, I mean, that's a drastic 50% increase.
Right.
So, I mean, when you really only have these point percentages left, I mean, it is a fine line of realistically just having to harvest early. And like I said, with having, not the correct equipment and not being able to cut it down or getting it processed gets you more later into the season. So it definitely is really important to get your product harvested and tested in the right area to make sure that your product, you're not going over those limits.
Right. Well, that's interesting. That goes along with any cannabis.
Yes, it's very
I know
true.
That's one of the first classes I took. I was so shocked that you can have 3 seeds, grow it 3 different ways, cure it, different ways, and come out with different results.
Yes. Yes.
And it's all how you take care of those ladies, huh?
It really is very, very true on that. Yeah, it's just the information that's pouring in now is really awesome. Now that the federal government has passed this deal on hemp, I do believe that the more information that we're going to be able to receive now is going to be awesome.
Right.
Just with the studies that are going to be able to be, federally granted and things like that.
Right. So, going with that farm bill, I come from a rural area, and all the block grants and manufacturing money. Are you guys going after any of that, any of the incentives?
I know that there's a lot of farm stuff going on in our community, and we're actually trying to put together a co-op with a lot of the farmers that, they're just really scared of not knowing where to go with the product.
Right.
And so that's where we're trying to basically connect the hemp farmer, or the average farmer, to the hemp market. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of where we're seeing that a lot of farmers that are out there farming, that's all they do. The joke on the farm is we'll get to it when we get caught up, but when that is, who knows. So that's why we're here, just trying to promote that we have the ability to provide large scale biomass and be able to show these farmers that this is a really viable product.
Right. I know there's a lot of farmers all over the country that are excited and nervous all at the same time, you know?
It's a big step, especially going into something that a lot of people have never done before and have always been told that it's wrong to do or things like that. So, yeah, definitely the industry's growing, and it's really exciting to see what's going to happen here in the next couple of years, for sure, now that this bill's been passed.
Right. Well, one of the things that they were talking about was crop insurance.
Huge.
So, you know, is that available now to you?
We have not reached out to any insurance agencies yet, but I know that obviously being in the southeast area of Colorado, hail is a large issue for farming. And so realistically, the only way that we had to combat that was to not basically put all of our fields in one area and just to try to spread them out through the valley. So that way we could ensure that at least possibly one of our fields would not get hailed out.
Right.
But yeah, definitely experiencing some hail and things like that very damages a lot of things. So yeah, having some crop insurance would be interesting, but we have not necessarily looked into it yet.
Right.
But that is an issue now. I mean, that's available to farmers. That's awesome.
That changes everything.
Huge, definitely.
Huge. You know, if you can afford it.
Yes,
you know?
this is true.
You know, just because you can have it doesn't mean you can have it.
This is true.
You know, that we know this in the cannabis industry, you know.
Very.
So, yes, it's legal. You got to have a stamp, but nobody can sell it.
Very true.
So.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you guys for your time.
So Rocky Ford Hemp Company on Instagram is the best way to get a hold of them?
Yes. If you guys need any information on combines, let us know.
I might need some information on combines here.
Yeah.
For sure.
And come back and think about coming and doing one of our regular slots.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, I'd love to talk to you like right before harvest or right before planting.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're gearing up. We'll start getting into the ground around May or late May to June, and so we'll be going from there on until October.
Shoot, I wouldn't mind riding down and doing it live.
You guys are more than welcome on the farm anytime.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
That would be awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for joining, everybody. We're going to keep doing these. We're going to keep finding interesting people here in the Hemp Pavilion and keep going live next couple of days.
Yeah, that's right. And so if you're here tomorrow, absolutely come see us. And, you know, you don't have to be a vendor to go live. Or if you're here today, come see us. Yeah.
So, all right. Thank you guys so much. And you guys have a great day.
Thanks for joining, guys. We'll be back.
Everybody.
We'll be back soon.
Thank you guys very much.
That was pretty painless, huh?
No, that was great. Really appreciate it.